back to another episode of Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mou Podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Mou, and I'm an empowerment coach teaching people how to live the BS life, aka the bliss off life. And it's a concept that I came about, which is tapping into your true power, igniting your power to live the life that you truly desire and want. And I teach you manifestation tools. I teach you all these holistic well-being tips and tools so you can go and ignite your power. So, welcome. And today we're going to dive into a topic that's been a deeply personal journey for me: overcoming confidence struggles and truly learning to love myself. So, as an entrepreneur and a coach, and someone who's faced her fair share of challenges, from navigating a lack mindset in business to overcoming personal hardships like infertility and endometriosis, I know exactly how tough it can be to feel like you're not enough. And there were so many moments when self-doubt crept in, where I felt like I didn't have what it takes, or I was stuck in the lack mentality, always focusing on what I didn't have rather than appreciating what I did. And this lack mindset, a lot of us struggle with. But here's the truth: confidence and self-love are skills we can build, no matter how impossible they might feel in the moment. It's been a hard lesson, but one that's transformed not just my business, but my entire life. And I'm here to literally share the tools and the secrets of what has changed my life. And hopefully it can help you guys and you can implement it to change your life. And so in this episode, I'm opening up about my journey of reclaiming my confidence, breaking free from that scarcity mindset, and learning to see myself and my potential through a lens of abundance. If you've ever struggled with feeling not enough, or you've wondered how to truly love yourself in a world that often makes it so hard, this one's for you. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive in together. Let's start with the real and raw truth. Confidence hasn't always come easily for me. And it may seem like I am so confident to others, but in fact, for much of my life, especially in the early stages of my entrepreneurial journey, it felt like I was constantly battling this inner voice telling me I wasn't good enough. And when you own a business and entrepreneurship, people, you know this, that your business literally reflects and shows you all of your fears. So fears of not showing up, not good enough, right? All these fears pop up, and your business is literally like your baby, and it's a lot of learning curves and a lot of life lessons in there, which is beautiful at the same time, but scary and hard. All these emotions, I'm not gonna lie. But when you do overcome all these fears, you truly feel so good. And I'm at a place where I finally feel good enough to share. Yes, I'm still catching myself sometimes where I don't have enough confidence in myself to do something, or I'm going back into my old behaviors of having that lack mindset. But I catch myself, right? Because I'm learning these tools and implementing it, trying to change the neurons and habits of my brains to change to what I was used to, but now to what I really want to be and who I truly want to be. And so for some reason today, I really had a calling to teach you guys this. And so when I first started my business, I thought confidence was something other people just had, right? And most of us think this too. You look at all these business guys, Ed Milet or Tony Robbins, or big name people, Jay Shetty. They look like they've known and done all these things, but think about it. They have had to work themselves up and have overcome those fears to get to where they are at. But we always look at other people and how far they are already, but dude, you never reflect on yourself and where you just came from, or like you just started your business and how you're gonna end up going to that level, just like them, right? Like, if you think about it, we always compare ourselves to people who have already been there and done their business for 10 plus years and you're just starting out, of course, you're gonna feel like their confidence, is like so strong and like, how come you're not? And then you're comparing yourself, which keeps you in this low vibrational lack, scarcity mindset, which doesn't help you grow and to up level yourself. So, anywho, I look at successful entrepreneurs and think they're so sure of themselves. What's wrong with me, right? Which I just explained. And I questioned my abilities, my ideas, and even my worth. It felt like I was always chasing something I couldn't quite catch. And that chase became so exhausting. And I'm like, dude, look at this person doing this, that, right? We always compare. Another comparison is the thief to your life, right? That's why it's a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-love when you're doing entrepreneurship and just actually just trying to be a successful, loving, having a great life that you desire. And it doesn't have to just be related to entrepreneurship. But it didn't help that I carried a lack mindset into my business. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term a lack mindset is when you're constantly focusing on what you don't have. Whether it's money, time, opportunities, or support, it's like looking at life through a lens of scarcity, always seeing what's missing instead of what's possible. And when you look at life in this perception, it's so exhausting because remember, everything is energy. And so if you're looking at life in a negative perspective, you're using way more energy to be in this negative state. Instead of using that energy, you can look at it in a positive state, which makes you feel better, which actually makes you be more high vibrational if you are more positive, which is crazy, right? So this is why working on your mindset, perception in life, your reality, awareness is so, so important. And so I will talk more about this later on. I just want to point out how that lack mindset truly holds a lot of us back from our desires or the outcomes or our manifestations of what we truly want because we don't believe in ourselves. And when you're comparing yourself to others and you're always in this negative state, you're not going to manifest. You're not going to be this high vibrational being that gets their desires, or it's going to take forever to get there. So for me, that lack mindset was rooted in fear. And that's something I realized after reflecting and working on myself, right? And all of us have fears of something, but mine was literally fear of failure, fear of not measuring up, fear that I didn't have enough resources or experience to succeed, to coach somebody. Like I was thinking, why would somebody want to be coached by me? Like, isn't that wild? But I know now in my deep core being that, dude, my energy, my time is so precious. Like, I am so amazing, and anybody who comes across me is so lucky if I even give you the time and day. But I used to think, like, oh my God, my energy and myself is not enough. That's wild. It is enough. I am amazing. But I've had to overcome and, dealt with all these fears. And, that fear of not being enough or measuring up always showed up in so many ways of like procrastination, overworking myself to prove I was capable, and sometimes even holding myself back from opportunities because I didn't think I was ready or worthy. And it's wild to me again because I've been telling you I've been wanting to be an author, write my book, but I'm again getting in my head like, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy enough to be an author. Like, how can that be? Who's gonna want to read my book, right? And all these fears are coming up again. And I have to just remind myself, like, look, where have I become and where I came from? Like, I started my business in 2021, went hardcore in 2022, and it's 2024 now, and I've grown it so much in the last 2 years that I'm so excited for 2025 to come. Like, if I have not spent all those years just starting and just facing all these fears, I would still be stuck in the same position of, oh, I want to do that, but I've never done it. So look at me now, being here with you guys, having this podcast for over a year now. And I have so many amazing listeners, so many guests, and I just can't believe how this has scaled so exponentially fast. And it's only been a year, over a year, guys. Like, so I, point being though, is fear really truly holds us back in a lot of things, and it comes from within us. But not only fear, though, on top of that, my personal struggles with infertility, endometriosis, and the emotional toll of IVF and miscarriages added another layer to my self-doubt. And those experiences took so much out of me, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. There were times I felt broken, like I wasn't enough as a woman or a human being. And anybody who's struggling with infertility, you know and understand this to your core being. Like, you want to be a mom so bad, and you want to provide that child for your husband and for your family and for yourself to be able to, carry on that role of a mom, or being able to be a woman to carry a child. But that's just a human belief that was put on us, right? It doesn't matter how a baby comes to you, but if you're truly supposed to be a mom, adoption or surrogacy, or however it may come to you, or however the universe wants to give you that baby, you can still become a mom or a parent or whatever. But I don't like how society makes us feel less than because we are not made to make a baby or with our physical own bodies. And again, that shows you how our belief systems are so strong within us that a lot of us need to, again, become aware, see these fears, and not see yourself as less than because you can't provide or do something that you expected or that society thinks that you should be able to. And so this is why you need to find your inner power, inner strength to overcome all these things. And this is what I have been doing, right? I literally just had a miscarriage in September, and I open and talk about it freely because it's very common, and a lot of women go through miscarriages but feel like they shouldn't be able to talk about it or feel ashamed because they couldn't carry a baby through term, which seems so easy, but it's really not, right? Because people don't talk about it, but it's so common. But anywho, going back to all of the things that I've been to though, right? I just reflect and take those lessons and those hardships as lessons. And of course, you go through the emotions and all that. But when you reflect and you just work on yourself and giving yourself love and space and truly loving yourself and your life and what you're grateful for, that really helps you come out of that headspace. But I know, right? When you're stuck in that space of negativity or the less than mentality, and all that brokenness of you, right? It's so easy to believe the lie that you have to earn your worth or you need to be perfect to be confident. But let me tell you, that's a lie. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself, even when things feel messy and uncertain. And it took me a long time to understand that. For years, I stayed stuck in that cycle of self-doubt and scarcity, thinking that if I just worked harder, achieved more, then I'd finally feel confident. But confidence doesn't work that way. It's not something you find out there, it's something you build within you, literally within you. And I literally came to this realization um, literally a week ago. And I've been coaching my client now, and she's been helping me reflect too, how I used to be in the beginning of my entrepreneurship. And she's doing exactly and having those negative and fears and negative thoughts come to her, which is making her spiral into having these really depressed episodes because she's valuing her worth with her business. And you can never put a value on your self-worth to something else, not even to another person, right? A lot of people do this. They put their self-worth on another part, like on another person, like their partner. And that is not good because you need to always know that you are this amazing true being, and no one can be more special or amazing than yourself. And we all have our own special gifts and why we exactly came to Earth and what our own mission is here. And so this is why working on yourself is so important and working through your fears is important. So maybe a person who is so stuck on a person and putting their self-worth on a person, they lack self-worth because maybe they've had some wound with a father wound or something, or a relationship wound of mom, whatever it may be, right? But they're trying to seek another person to fulfill their needs, and that's not how it works, right? Only you can fulfill your own needs. And so it's like a business, right? You can't put your value of yourself on your business. So say you don't make any money on your business yet, but you know you will. Thinking like, oh, I'm a failure because I didn't make any money last month doesn't mean that you're useless or you're nothing. You're a human being who has these amazing gifts that people have not seen it yet. Your time has not come yet. The universe will provide, but you have to do the work within you. Then the universe, when you are ready, will provide that for you. It's a little bit confusing maybe, but think about it though. Do not put your self-worth on anybody else or anything else but yourself. And it can only come from within you. And this is something truly, truly so important. And again, this is a life lesson that I've learned in the past 2 years that, man, I am worth so much. And it's beautiful to finally realize that, because what other people see, I finally feel it within. And it's a beautiful feeling. And so another point is you need to have a great support system. No joke. If you're surrounding yourself with negative people, they're going to bring you down. You're never going to be good, or you're never going to feel good enough to ever do anything if you have all these negative people around you, because they are bringing you down, just FYI. And so I'm lucky that I have such a great support system and all these loving people who see exactly my worth, and just reminding me of that every day is so helpful to finally get myself out of this lack mindset mentality that I've had for years. But you truly will understand it and feel it when you have overcame that mindset. And so finally, well, I mean, finally, I've gotten to a place where I'm better at this. It's a learning process, I'm not going to lie, but it's just so exciting to finally have a breakthrough. So this is why I wanted to share this with you guys. And I know I'm not alone in this struggle, right? And so many of us, especially women, are conditioned to doubt ourselves, to play small, and to tie our self-worth to external accomplishments. But if that resonates with you, I want you to know this: you're not alone and you're not broken. Confidence is a journey, and it's one you're absolutely capable of walking. And I really want you guys to know that. You guys are all special in your own ways, and I love you guys. So what changed, right? How did I go from being trapped in self-doubt and a lack mindset to building real confidence and learning to love myself? The truth is, it wasn't one big aha moment. Like I told you, it's been a journey, a 2-year journey. And it was a lot and a series of small, sometimes painful realizations over time. I remember one particular moment when I was completely burned out, sitting at my desk, questioning everything I was doing. I had poured so much of myself into my business and my personal life, but I still felt like I wasn't enough. That's when I realized the way I was treating myself, constantly doubting, criticizing, and second guessing, was something I would never do to someone else. If a friend came to me feeling this way, or a client of mine, I'd be their biggest cheerleader, yet I wasn't offering myself that same kindness. And we all do this to ourselves, right? We are our worst own critics. And I decided that had to change. The first thing I did was start getting curious about my thoughts and beliefs. Why did I feel like I wasn't enough? Why did I believe I had to do more or be more to deserve success? These questions weren't easy to ask, but they were necessary. So self-reflection, journaling. So journaling became a huge part of my healing process. I started writing down my fears, my self-doubts, and all the ways I felt like I was falling short. Then I challenged those beliefs. For example, when I'd write, I don't know enough to succeed, I'd ask myself, is that really true? What evidence do I have to support or refute that thought? Another turning point for me was learning to lean into self-compassion. I started using affirmations, not just saying them, but really letting myself feel them. I'd look in the mirror and say things like, I am enough exactly as I am, or I'm worthy of love, success, and abundance. At first, it felt awkward and unnatural, but over time, those words started to sink in. I also began seeking tools that aligned with my spirituality, like numerology and angel card readings. These practices helped me reconnect with myself on a deeper level and reminded me that I'm always supported by something greater than myself. They became a source of reassurance and guidance when I felt lost. Another big shift happened when I joined communities of like-minded women. Spaces like Blissful Beauties Ascend show me the power of surrounding yourself with people who lift you up and remind you of your potential. It's amazing how much easier it is to believe in yourself when you're surrounded by others who see your light, even when you can't see it yourself. Finally, I had to change the way I viewed failure and hardship. Instead of seeing challenges as proof that I wasn't good enough, I started seeing them as opportunities to grow. My struggles with infertility, for example, taught me resilience and opened the door to spirituality and coaching. Those experiences were painful, but also shaped me into the person I am today. The turning point for me wasn't about suddenly having confidence, it was about learning to build it, one small step at a time. And it's something I'm still working on every day. But what I've learned is this: confidence isn't about being fearless or perfect. It's about showing up, even when you're scared, and choosing to love yourself through it all. Once I started breaking through those old patterns of self-doubt and lack, the next step was embracing self-love and shifting into an abundance mindset. Let me tell you, this part of the journey wasn't easy either, but it was transformative. For the longest time, I thought self-love was selfish. I thought if I took time for myself or set boundaries, I'd be letting others down. The people pleaser in me really was a hardcore belief in me, which I had to overcome. But what I've learned is that self-love isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup, and for years I was trying to give from a cup that had nothing left. And people could see that, and people took advantage of me. And this is why I got so sick with endometriosis and infertility. And, the universe gives you signs and pauses and things like that so you can learn exactly what you need to learn, which is beautiful. But the first step for me was redefining what success meant. I used to think success was about constantly achieving, doing more, and proving myself to others. But now success looks like living in alignment with my values, taking care of myself, and showing up authentically in everything I do. It's not about how much I do, it's about how much I become. One of the most powerful ways I started embracing self-love was through a daily gratitude practice. Every morning, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Not just the big things, but the little things too, like a kind word from someone, a good cup of tea, or a moment of peace. Gratitude helps me focus on what I have instead of what I think I'm missing, and it's shifted my perspective in so many ways. I also had to learn to celebrate myself. This was such a foreign concept to me at first. I was so used to brushing off my accomplishments, thinking they weren't big enough or didn't matter. But now I make a conscious effort to acknowledge my wins. Whether it's launching a new project, helping a client have a breakthrough, or even just getting through a tough day, celebrating yourself is an act of self-love, and it reinforces that you are enough just as you are. Shifting from a lack mindset to an abundance mindset was another game changer. Instead of constantly worrying about what I didn't have, like time, money, or resources, I started focusing on what I do have and trusting that more is always coming. I began replacing thoughts like I'll never have enough with affirmations like there's more than enough for everyone, including me. And one thing that helped me make this shift was reflecting on the times in my life when the universe provided for me, even when I wasn't expecting it. Just like I told you guys about my house, the house that I'm living in, right? And having my daughter, I didn't expect it, but it came at the most beautiful, perfect time. And there were moments when I received exactly what I needed at just the right time, whether it was a new opportunity, support from a friend, or even a message through my card readings. Those moments reminded me that abundance is always available if I'm open to receiving it. And this is why being high vibrational and being higher, in a higher state of energy is so important, because it's going to help you manifest your desires, and you're just going to be so much happier and joyful, and you're going to be living the bliss off life. Lastly, I've made self-care a priority, not just the bubble bath kind of self-care, though I love those too. I mean, the deeper self-care, setting boundaries, saying no when I need to, and giving myself permission to rest. When you take care of yourself, you're telling the world and yourself that you're worthy of love and care. So now I want to encourage you to ask yourself, what would it look like for me to truly love myself? Maybe it's giving yourself more grace, saying no to something that drains you, or simply telling yourself, I am enough. Whatever it is, take one small step towards self-love today. And remember, abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you align with. When you start to love yourself, believe in your worth, and trust in what's possible, you naturally open yourself up to the abundance that's already waiting for you. Now that we've talked about my journey and the mindset shifts that help me, I want to leave you with some practical tools and strategies that you can use to build your confidence and deepen your self-love. These are things that have truly worked for me, and I believe they can make a big difference for you too. So 1, daily affirmations. Affirmations are a simple but powerful way to rewire your thoughts. The key is not just to say them, but to really feel them as true. Some of my favorites are, I am worthy of love and success. I am enough exactly as I am. Everything I need is already within me. And if you don't like these, write down a few affirmations that resonate with you and place them somewhere you'll see them often, like your mirror, your phone screen, or your journal. Start each day by saying them out loud. Number 2, journaling for self-reflection. So journaling is a great way to reconnect with yourself and uncover the beliefs holding you back. Try writing about these prompts. What does confidence mean to me? What limiting beliefs do I need to let go of? And what am I proud of myself for today? This practice helps you gain clarity and gives you space to celebrate yourself and address the areas where you want to grow. Number 3, gratitude practice. And I love this so much. It's so easy. Gratitude has been a game changer for me. Every evening, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and every time I wake up in the morning. It's a small habit, but it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's abundant in your life. Over time, this helps you cultivate a more positive and confident mindset. Number 4, visualization and manifestation. Take time each day to visualize your highest, most confident self. Imagine what they look like, how they speak, and how they carry themselves. Close your eyes and feel what it's like to be that person. This isn't just daydreaming, it's training your mind to believe in what's possible. You can take it a step further by pairing visualization with manifestation techniques. Write down what you want to call into your life and affirm that it's already on its way. For example, I am attracting opportunities that align with my purpose. Number 5, take small, brave steps. Confidence grows through action. It's not about taking giant leaps. It's about taking small, consistent steps towards what you want. So start with something that feels just outside your comfort zone. Maybe it's sharing your ideas in a meeting, reaching out to someone you admire, or even just saying, I love you to yourself in the mirror. Number 6, seek community support. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Whether it's a group of friends, a coach, or a community like Blissful Beauties Ascend, having others who believe in you make it easier to believe in yourself. If you don't have that yet, seek it out, because you deserve to be surrounded by encouragement and love. Number 7, celebrate your wins. Don't wait for the big accomplishments to celebrate yourself. Acknowledge the small wins too, whether it's completing a task, showing up for yourself, or making progress on a goal. When you celebrate your efforts, you reinforce your confidence and self-worth. Number 8, practice self-compassion. Finally, be kind to yourself. You're human and you're going to have tough days. When self-doubt creeps in, don't beat yourself up. Instead, remind yourself that you're learning and growing. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love. Building confidence and self-love is a journey, not a destination. It's about showing up for yourself every day, even when it feels hard, and choosing to believe in your worth. So I want to challenge you today. Pick one of these strategies and commit to it for the next week. Start small, stay consistent, and notice how it feels to treat yourself with love and respect. You might be surprised at the shifts that start to happen. Remember, you are enough exactly as you are, and you're capable of becoming even more. All right, so that was our episode today. I hope you found value in that. So thank you so much for joining me today and for being part of this conversation about building confidence and embracing self-love. I hope something in this episode resonated with you, whether it was my personal story, the mindset shifts, or the tools and strategies I shared. Remember, confidence isn't about being fearless or perfect. It's about showing up, being authentic, and learning to love yourself, even through the challenges. Wherever you are on your journey, know that you are not alone and you are so deserving of love, success, and abundance. If this episode inspired you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a message, share your takeaways, or let me know how you're implementing these ideas in your own life. And if you're ready to dive deeper, I'm here to support you, whether it's through one-on-one coaching, a numerology guidance reading, or just connecting in a meaningful way. I'd be honored to walk alongside with you. You can also check out my free card readings on my YouTube channel for a little extra guidance and inspiration whenever you need it. And if you're looking for a safe, uplifting community to support your growth, come join Blissful Beauties Ascend. Before we go, I want to leave you with this affirmation. I'm worthy, I'm enough, and I am capable of creating a life of love. Before we go, I want to leave you with this affirmation. I'm worthy, I'm enough, and I am capable of creating a life I love. Say it with me. Let it sink in and carry it with you as you go about your day. Thank you again for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who might need this message. Together, we can spread love, confidence, and empowerment to so many others. Until next time, keep shining, keep loving yourself, and remember, you have the power to create a life that lights you up. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode of Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mou Podcast. And don't forget to go and ignite your power and live the BS life.